What's up guys, it's Austin. Today's video is gonna be about the truth of Randonautica being haunted. Now, I've had a lot of experiences with this app, and especially with it leading me to haunted things or just sending me to haunted places in general. So let's get into the video. So if you guys have not heard of Randonautica before, it is basically an app that is based on intentions. So whatever you're thinking of, whether it's money, haunted, ghosts, it supposedly brings you there. I'm gonna talk about my theories of why I think it's haunted from my personal experiences. So basically with Randonautica, it runs off this thing called quantum points. And if there's a certain amount of quantum points in an area or like power or whatever in one area, it'll bring you to the area with the most quantum points so that your intention comes true. But this app is also about manifestations, so you're constantly thinking about the thing you want. Of course, you're trying to find it. Now, a lot of people have said with manifestation, because you're thinking of it all the time and you want to find it, you're gonna see similarities along the way, and you can actually fall into your intention on the way to the location, not just at the location, or you can find your intention in the general area. So let's say you're looking for something missing, like a shoe or something, and you find it. It could either be a coincidence or it just magically happened. That's the weird thing about Randonautica. Like when me and Mike first did it in season 1, this wasn't like a haunted episode. This was just to see if it worked. Since this is a theories video, I'm going to talk about this. For the first part, we did money, and we found money printed out on a billboard, written out. Another one we did was love, and there were hearts all over this senior citizens building. And we're just like, wow, so this app really works. So we could take this to the next level. And like I've heard of people going to abandoned houses and finding weird things, going to haunted forests, and also it's actually led me to haunted forests as well, and I'll get into my experiences real soon. So at first with this app, people were getting brought to really strange things. There's been people that have been brought to suitcases with weird things inside, been brought to forests with weird ritualistic things, like there'd be like a setup that looks like someone had done a weird ritual there. Just really strange things, and there's been like stalker videos. Actually, I have been kind of stalked before on Randonautica. I actually had to run away from somebody, but it only happened one time, so I'm very thankful for that. So now I'm going to get into why I think the app is so haunted. In episode 6, me and Nick really tested the waters of how haunted this app really is. I've tested that in a few different episodes in season 1. So in episode 6, we're just like, let's do random. Let's just manifest that, see what we find. So we manifest it, we generate a location through the app, and it sends us to a random place. It was a wrestling club. Oh, it's telling us to go there.
Lethbridge Wrestling Club. What the? What? Excuse me?
Why do we need to go to a wrestling club? Which was pretty random. We didn't pick an intention. I'm just like, let's not pick an intention and just see where it takes us. So that's what we did, and we ended up at the wrestling club, and we're just like, okay, let's actually do something scary. Let's do something haunted or something. For a long time, I've always wanted to look for the black-eyed children with this app. If you don't know what the black-eyed children are, they're these kids with dark black eyes. You can't even see anything in their eyes at all. They're just completely black, and they'll come up to your house and ask to be let into your house, and you can see them at parks, alleyways, abandoned buildings, forests, and desolate roads. Pretty much anywhere that you could be seen alone and very vulnerable to anything that could happen to you. So we do black-eyed children. You would never guess where it sends us. It sent us to a park. Not just any park, a park with an alleyway surrounding it. So the way you get into this park is you have to drive into the alleyway, and it goes all the way around, and there's like different exits you can take. There's the one that we went in, and there's another one, but the only way you're escaping is through this alleyway. And we're just like, okay, black-eyed children are seen at parks and back alleyways. Those are two of the top places to see them, and it sent us to both. That couldn't be any more perfect. Like, even though we didn't find them, we found where they would be. So we're like, okay, let's try another thing. Let's do Slenderman. Slenderman? Okay. Yeah. Just random. I don't think Slenderman is real. I think he's just a made-up fictional character, but we did Slenderman. Not gonna lie, I was still pretty creeped out. I'm just like, where is it gonna send us for Slenderman? Because if Black-Eyed Children was on par, where is it gonna send us for Slenderman? And by the way, I did record this, like I mentioned before. So you can actually go check out this video. I'll put it in the description too.
It's sending us off a back road, guys.
A back road?
This is a back road to Slenderman. You see this? This is, you go off the highway into a back road. To there.
So we literally got to go off the highway onto a back road and find Slenderman.
Yep.
This night just got terrifying. It sends us to a forested area. Where is Slenderman usually seen in these games? The forest. of course it sends us to a forest. Not just any forest though. So this area we were approaching had trees and everything, but there was also abandoned houses. I haven't really played the Slenderman games before, but the fact that it sent us to a woodsy area with abandoned houses was pretty on par. We're just like, this is creepy. And then there was one point of the video where we drove down this one pathway, we're going down it, and we see an abandoned swing set. And since it was windy, it made it really creepy because it looked like the swing was going back and forth by itself, but it was just the wind. It was the utmost creepiest setting. So that was episode 6, and it got creepier from there, but I want to move on to some other episodes. There was another one where me and my friend Amric, I don't film with him anymore, he has moved away, so I got to film a bunch of Randonautica episodes with him, almost all of them. And there was one in particular where I think I wanted something dark and creepy or like a strange encounter. I can't remember exactly what it was. It was putting us in a very specific spot in this haunted park. It was just on the side of a hill, like anyone could get to it. So we get out of the car, we walk up to this point, and I'm just like, okay, it's right here, or whatever I said in the video. And right as I say, okay, we're here, we hear the most weirdest sound ever. It almost sounds like a dog was being murdered by a coyote, is what we basically said in the video. And we're just like, what the f? Right in here is where it would be. What the fuck? Right as I you guys can totally hear that. It sounds like a dog is getting murdered.
Kinda does, actually. Holy shit.
What the f is... Could that be coyotes attacking a dog?
It could be.
That sounded violent. It was just too perfect. Like right as we got to the park, we heard that weird sound. It was like a dog yelping or crying. You can hear it in the video. It's actually very terrifying to hear. Whenever I look back at that video, I'm just like, what was that? Because we never even knew what that was. So our guess was it was a dog barking at a coyote or some kind of dog freaking out in this haunted park at night. So we got out of there pretty quick. Okay, so this next part of this theories video of Randonautica is kind of like a mix of haunted and cursed. So I'm just going through all the weird experiences I went through with this app to show you that it's most definitely haunted and it is definitely a cursed app. In my personal opinion, it is. So in episode 2, me and Mike are recording again, and we decide to bring our friend Hannah, and she was new to the channel, and we're just like, do you want to go randonauting with us? And she was completely down to go and be in the video. The first intention we did was scary.
What's our intentions?
Scary.
Scary.
At first, I wasn't sure why it sent us to this place, but it sent us to a park near our houses, which is actually known as the Devil's Garden, which I did not know at the time, and it's actually haunted. I actually investigated it like 2 years later, and I'm just like, oh, this is why it sent us here. What we ended up actually finding was a purple flower, and Mike looked it up online, and it was the only purple flower in the whole entire grassy area that this flower was in. He said purple flowers sometimes represent burials. Fence looks really messed up.
Usually represent funerals or cemetery burials.
That's what a purple flower represents?
Yep, I just searched it.
When we turned off the camera, we're just like, that was just a normal purple flower though. Like, it probably doesn't mean anything significant. So skipping over a couple intentions, we eventually decide to do cursed. It brings us to this weird looking house. The windows are completely boarded up. It looks like they either had like shutters across the windows or like something. I can't really explain what it was that was across the windows. They were just boarded up. There were cameras on the house. And later Mike looked up the address of that house and someone actually died there. So we're just like, okay, either that means it's cursed or it's some kind of weird house for other things. I don't know. Every inch of this house is boarded up, as you can see the window. And there's other windows that are boarded up, but you can't really see. So I guess that house is cursed, or what?
Yeah, apparently. Is it cursed?
Maybe they're doing witchcraft in there. Maybe that's why it's cursed. I don't know.
I mean, everything's boarded up. There's cameras on everything.
Yeah, 2 cameras.
Everything's locked. There's, what is it, bars on the basement windows.
While we were walking around in that episode, we got the strangest looks from people. I don't know if it was because of what we were doing. Like, nobody knew what we were doing. We were just walking around with a camera, and half the time it wasn't even on when we were walking around at random sidewalks or whatever. So we're walking down this sidewalk, and these guys, like, we walk by them, totally just minding our own business, and I just feel like someone is staring at me. I turn around, and these guys are giving us death stares. And I'm just like, guys, like, look behind us. They're staring at us. And we were like like 50 feet away and they still were staring at us. It was insane. Like, these guys looked like they wanted us dead. Like, I'm not trying to sound like dramatic or anything, but that's what it felt like in the moment. And of course, one of the intentions we also did was death. So we're just like, this could either mean something paranormal, or it could mean that someone is gonna die soon, or we're gonna see something along that realm. So we manifest death, which, don't ever do that, guys. We were just trying to test the app to its limits. This was by far the creepiest part of the video. And at this point, keep in mind that we have been experiencing signs of death pretty much all day long, from like weird people staring at us and going into these sketchy areas. All right, guys, we just found a crow on our way to find death. And as you guys probably know, that crows are like a sign that someone's gonna die soon. So we're freaking out a little bit.
Oh look, there's also a black feather.
Oh God. Yeah, we're gonna die. So we get death, and we don't go all the way to the point. It's like right around the corner. We see a dead skunk on the road. Okay, that's death. We're good. That's the end of the video right there. I turn off my camera, and behind me at this one intersection in the video is this industrial field. And this is where the video got really sketchy, and we talked about this, but I'm gonna talk about it again just for this video alone, because this is creepy Randonautica haunted theories. This part wasn't haunted. This was just straight up weird. So we're going through this industrial field, really sketchy industrial field. We're walking around, kind of like fooling around. We thought we wanted to go home, but we just decided to fool around in this industrial field. We're walking down the road, and this truck drives by. Tinted windows and everything, and this guy just like stares at us. Again, we get another death stare. The same exact stare that these other people were giving us early on in the episode. And I'm just like, what is up with these people? So the truck goes to the end of this intersection, which is like probably like about 100 feet or so away from us. And he's just sitting there for like at least 5 to 10 minutes. Like half the time, cars weren't even going by. He could have went a long time ago, and we're just like, is he looking at us through the rear view mirror of his car? Like just staring at us still? Like we were freaked out. And eventually he did turn, but he didn't turn for like the longest time, and he could have went so many times. There were no cars going down that road hardly at all. Alright guys, well I think that's going to wrap up today's video about all these Randonautica theories on why I think it's haunted. Just be very careful using this app at night if you ever do, or if you use it in general. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.